And as she was preaching defense, there's a lot of things they want to do better. Of course, this is when you start learning this time of the year. Opening tip controlled by Cal State LA. They'll be in black with the pink October breast cancer trim, and a steal by Jada Williams. Loses the handle on it, shuffles it off to Bay, who scores the opening bucket.
Oh, now that is the way you want to start a game. Great trap there with Isis Bay, and Jada Williams just reading that and taking it to the hole for the finish. And I think she got some help by Isis Bay on that finish.
That's Nevaeh Asiasi, comes from a great family. Offensive rebound by Lily Buggs. And she's off the mark to start things. In transition, here comes Arizona. Harris driving, and with a right hand will score the bucket. Good start for the Cats.
That was a great start. Great finish there by Rolfe. Really nice. Went really hard.
And Bay defending on the outside. Fuentes jacked up that three, and there's Bay. Wow, look at this start against the team that's been in the NCAA Division II NCAA tournament the last couple of years.
Well, Adia told me on Sunday she wanted this team, her team, to start faster, and my goodness, they're sprinting out of the gates right now.
And one of the issues they wanted to address was the
transition offense right now is working like a charm. Looking good. I like the intensity. But this team, Cal State LA, and there's another three, they have a lot of confidence shooting the three.
Speaking of confidence shooting the three, Jada Williams made 4 of them in 8 attempts on Friday night against West Texas A&M. Quick little turnaround. You had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. Here's a spin move by Buggs. Outstanding score from an outstanding high school in the CIF Southern section, Long Beach Poly High School. I'm sure you recruited when you were not only at Long Beach State, but at Arizona and Seattle as well.
I did. I've been at Long Beach Poly many, many times, and some great people there are alumni, and one is Snoop Dogg, who went to school there among a lot of other Billie Jean King did go there too, yes.
Yeah, and to Cal State LA.
Yes, she did.
I understand.
Yes, she did.
Buggs way too long on that three. She's an academic All-American at the Division II level. Boy, some of these majors too, as they go into Cunningham, and Cunningham comes up short.
Yeah, she just missed that. I like her going back and making that reverse. But look at Buggs goes hard. Yeah. They really think she has a chance to be a Division II All-American.
Fuentes is not shy. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Or in this case, try again. She makes her first on 3 attempts.
Well, she's 6'3" from Ventura High School, and definitely looking to hit that outside three-pointer.
All of a sudden, Cal State LA has ripped off 5 in a row. Wildcats' lead of a half dozen is down to 1. Little crossover by Williams. Guarded by Asiasi, who comes from a terrific family. 3 to shoot. Good screen up high by Cunningham. Frees up Williams for the 3, and she misfires.
Yeah, I like her taking the 3, but I think right now Arizona needs a little bit more ball movement.
Yep.
And get that ball from one side of the court to the other.
Part of setting the tone against West Texas A&M on Friday night was Williams coming out guns a-blazing, making her first 2 threes. She's missed her first 2 threes, and there's a blow-by right there by Gabrielle Ronis, a senior from Sacramento.
Yeah, definitely nice shot, but there was a reach there by Arizona, and I always said, you reach, I'll teach. So there was a lesson there as an easy layup.
Here's Paris, misses off the front of the rim, 1 and done for Arizona. Called that last play by Cal State LA the Linda Ronstadt. We're here at Tucson. That's the Blue Bayou right to the bucket.
Definitely.
And what do you know, the Golden Eagles, 7 in a row after Arizona went up 6-0. There's a good takeaway defensively. Here's Williams. She has Paris ahead of her. Going to take it herself, little up and under, and a travel by Jada Williams.
Well, you can tell Arizona wants getting out to run. They have to be more efficient in their offense. They're almost trying to score a little bit too quickly.
Lauren Swan comes in. We're also going to see a couple of other substitutions. Cunningham goes out. Paris is out. Jones in for the first time. And also, we're going to see Sanaya Jaw, the South Carolina transfer. So almost a hockey line change for Adia Barnes here.
Well, this is the time you want to do it, is in the exhibition season. That's a reach again. So that's something that Arizona has to do better. You know, Maylene was very fortunate, Rolf, of not getting a call there because she did definitely reach.
5:34 to go, opening quarter play. Arizona scored the first 6 points, had all the momentum, and Cal State LA has scored 7 straight to take their first lead. Back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances for the Golden Eagles, looking for more, and leading into that shot over Bay is Asi.
Yeah, Asi's from Pittsburgh, California, from Salesian College Prep, where they won a championship up there.
Now, I'm the voice of the California State High School Championships for the men's and women's, boys and girls at the highest level. I recognize this entire roster from championship games as Jaw misfires.
That was one I think she'd like to get back there.
Yep.
Just too quick. Need a little bit more offense here and teamwork of being unselfish. Good steal there.
Bay and Swan try and keep it in. Diving for it is Jaw.
Great effort.
To Swan. Arizona hasn't scored in a long while. 9 in a row run off by Cal State LA. Here's Rolf, the freshman from Germany. That's like 3 extra Euro steps. Follows her own shot and missed it. Ronas the rebound.
Well, again, as I said earlier, they're playing really fast. Just got to play smart, and that was an easy putback. Someone forgot to box out Amaya Fuentes, and a quick timeout here by Adia Barnes.
Yeah, Fuentes second chance point, run off 11 in a row over the last 3:53. And by the way, they're playing tomorrow night at Maples Pavilion against Stanford. They're going to get up in Tucson and fly to San Jose and play again at 7 tomorrow.
Well, that sounds great. Good for them, but I know Arizona wants to play better here. Do a lot of things better.
All 6 points for Arizona in the paint. They go into Jaw over the double team, forces it up and scores it. That's the South Carolina transfer. Very impressive bucket.
A really good bucket, and she shows she can go outside, inside. She's a nightmare, I believe, as she gets more confident, because she can, it's very difficult to defend.
That put Arizona 1 for their last 8 from the field. Down 3 on the outlet. Here's Jones stepping up for the 16-footer. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Oh, I like that, and that's a confidence boost for Skylar. We'll see if she ever gets back into the starting lineup because she's a fantastic athlete. I think Adia Barnes just wanted to see her play harder.
Yeah. She had 6 points, 4 rebounds on Friday in the first exhibition against West Texas A&M. Pac-12 freshman honorable mention. Arizona sinking into what looked to be a zone there. Fuentes is open from the top of the key and has made back-to-back triples stretching the floor.
Yes, she is. What's happening is Arizona is doing a double team when there's a screen, but there was not a rotation at the top, and unfortunately Fuentes was wide open.
She's made both threes for Cal State LA. Meantime, the Wildcats just settling on getting into the paint. 2 more for Jones there.
I like that drive. The lefty going to the basket with the crossover move.
All 12 points for Arizona in the paint. Well, with the exception of Jones, beg your pardon. 10 of the 12. And there's a drive, basket, and a foul. That is Nevaeh Asi.
There. And I always said, if you're going to foul someone, not that you want to hurt them, foul them hard so they don't make the basket. If they're going to get to the free throw line, okay, but don't make it an opportunity for 3.
Here's Asi Jr. from Pittsburgh, California. 4 points last year, won that state title at Salesian Prep along with Sophia Fidelis, who's also on the roster. They throw it inside, and that's blocked by Fuentes. What can't she do here?
Yeah, Fuentes is good. She's 6'3", and the junior, as I mentioned, from Ventura, California, very versatile, 3-point threat, and she can bang.
How about this major, civil engineering, Amaya Fuentes?
Yeah, this team for Cal State LA really has a lot of players who are academic honors, and that's the way he recruits, and it's done well. Great drive. Oh my goodness. Now that's a confidence boost for you and your team.
Think somebody might have got a little wake-up call here?
Yeah, wake-up call and said, I want to start again. But, the bench, a lot of times, a good teacher.
Half dozen for Jones. matching what she had against West Texas A&M. And on the low post, the smallest of players, Gabrielle Ronis. Spent her first 3 years at Nevada, appearing in 48 games. She's got a bucket. Cal State LA's got a 4-point advantage. A drive in for the first time, Katarina Kanisevic. That's going to be an offensive foul on Kanisevic.
Don't want to see that, but I did not see live here. I don't know if that was, they called it a charge. I did not see that. I didn't think that was a charge, but you know, it's always easy to call a game from the sideline.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Things
is.
look a little bit different than when you're out on the floor.
Unless you're me, sometimes I struggle with this.
Oh.
Here's Ronis and the defense. They somehow get it down to Buggs. Plenty of time to shoot. They pull the trigger on a 3, and that goes in and out.
Sanaya Ja gets up so high on these rebounds. I mean, she's grabbing these rebounds off the rim.
Yeah, she had 4 boards in the opener. Little give and go there. Williams
Like
and
it.
count it. Oh, Paris inside to Williams. Do your dance.
I love that. I love the unselfishness going.
It was a low number for most of the game.
Well, I always felt that assists or something, it's contagious. When you have a player who's really unselfish and passes the ball well, it becomes contagious. So that's something you really want to talk about as a team so that you really focus on it.
Yeah. Good ratio right now. 5 assists on their first 8 made baskets.
I like that, yeah.
And Arizona is within one to Cal State LA, who had as big as a 5-point advantage at 11-6. There's some pressure in the backcourt by Jones on Sophia Fidelis, also from Salesian Prep, also won a state championship in 2022. And that's going to be a foul. Maybe bailed out on a travel there, and it's going against Skylar Jones.
I like the aggressiveness, I do, but I also think you've got to discipline yourself to not reach. But I do like the aggressiveness. So you just learn, you got to adjust to how the officials are calling the game. But I'll tell you, these players from Cal State LA are very adept handling the ball. They have various moves. They can change the pace, change their dribble. They're a well-coached team.
That's the first foul on Jones. What I didn't pick up now until I looked at the stat sheet, Kanisevic has 2 personal fouls in the early going, so 1 on the offensive end, and has to go to the bench for Adia Barnes. Final 33 seconds, coast to coast, and got fouled by Ranye Jackson.
Someone forgot to pick her up. She was mad that upset she didn't make that layup, but I really like the drive. I mean, she can grab these balls off the rim for the rebound.
She had 8 points, 4 boards, 4 steals against West Texas A&M. Now the turnovers,
yeah,
he had 5 of them and was just 4 of 8 from the free throw line in 15 minutes. So that's probably something you got to clean up just a little bit, and that feels good to go down to start things.
You know, Adia Barnes in her defense said that she was coming off a sprained ankle, so she was, it's a little bit, you know, hurt a little bit, but she sure looks good today.
Yeah, we were here to see that. As a matter of fact, at the end of practice,
right,
the Thursday before the West Texas A&M game, she went down right in front of us. I wasn't sure she was going to play, but she did. Jada Williams,
yeah,
she get
I think she got an elbow in the mouth.
Ooh.
Hopefully she's okay. That's.
So the Wildcats will have it in the attacking zone. Rolf, plenty of time to set up the offense. What are your thoughts on the offense and how it's been going when it's in the half court?
Well, I haven't seen it a lot in the half court.
Good point.
You know, now they're dribbling, honestly, too much. They need to get rid of the ball and make some ball movement here.
Rolf with 8 seconds to go was looking for the screen by Ja, but defended nicely by Cal State LA. Over to Paris, 2 to shoot. She drives with the left hand, puts it up, missed it. And with 0.4 of a second to go, it's going to be Cal State LA basketball, and there's going to be a foul.
I believe that was on Isis Bay. So I don't know if that was something that they wanted to do, but that was a contested shot by Paulina Paris.
And that's the end of the first quarter of play. Well, that LeBron James is sitting right next to me. On the other side is Drake, and Drake is wearing out high school officials.
Well, he loves basketball, and he still talks to the officials a lot.
Jada Williams is back in, feeds Cunningham, and Cunningham gets called for the offensive foul.
I still like the idea of getting to the basket and getting Brea Cunningham involved.
You should have seen all the cars in the parking lot that night. That's going to be a turnover for Cal State LA. Or did they say Arizona touched it last? Let's see. I don't think they called it correctly. Well, maybe they did. Okay, Arizona's going to get it now. Keep possession of it. Williams gets it in.
That's the fifth turnover for Cal State LA.
Wildcats had 4 points in the first quarter off of Cal State LA miscues. Now here's that half-court game again. That offense. Cunningham sets a screen high for Paris. Jones going to go downhill now with a left hand. A little too hard. Cunningham tried to get the offensive board, but Bay gets it. Fresh 20. They set up Jones on the wing, who buries the triple.
Oh, Skyler has come to play and has a great defense. Offensive rebound there by Brea Cunningham and helped by Isis Bay. Good second opportunity there, and a lead now for the Wildcats.
Skylar Jones didn't start, coming off the bench, 9 points in 6 minutes. Message received. Arizona back up 3 here. Fidelis cross court, lifting from 3 out there on the left side was Asiasi. In transition, Paris all alone scores the bucket.
You know what I love about that? I love that Brea made a pass going forward. A pass is so much faster than a dribble, and I'll tell you, get your offense going, and that is fun to play, and it is fun to coach and watch.
Arizona by 5. They've been up by as many as 6. Good defense by Cunningham on the low post there on Olivia Hodges. Open on the wing for a 3, and burying it is Kyara Walter from Oceanside. She's a freshman and a player that was part of the 2024 CIF San Diego section. Open division of the made field goals have been assisted. Now we'll add that. That's big to big assist. Bay inside to Cunningham for her first points of the game.
I like that combo in there. Bay and Cunningham, unselfish, looking for each other, and experience. They've played a year together, and it shows.
Ronye Jackson with a crossover, but it got knocked out of bounds. It's sticking with Cal State LA.
I see a significant improvement in the defense from the other day against West Texas A&M, and now today against Cal State LA.
And effort as well. And there was a lot of teachable moments in that game. Turnover, and that is Williams to Paris, who glides in for another bucket. Oh, the North Carolina transfer. It's just too easy here in the first half.
Well, it all starts with your defense, and defense becomes your offense. And that's a great way to play.
6 for Paris. Arizona back up 6. Good defense by Paris trying to get a steal, but that's going to stick with Cal State LA. They'll have 16 to shoot. How about this? 12 of the 28 points for Arizona come on the fast break variety.
I like it. That was a nice basket by Sophia Fidelis, the sophomore from Salesian College Prep.
Cunningham couldn't handle it as they threw it over the top. It's out for an Arizona turnover. It's going to be just the 4th for the Wildcats. Again, Jones going for a steal. Arizona had 15 steals against Texas A&M. Remember last year they were 6th in the country with 11.7 steals per game. And that's going to be an offensive foul against Cal State LA.
We'll see if they look at this one too. And so we did that. So
for the Arizona Wildcats, that 78 corridor is tough when it comes to girls basketball and football in San Diego. Wildcats.
Good. Looks really good. You know, there's 2 things you can't teach, and that's one is height, and the other is quickness, and she has great size and extraordinarily quick.
Shaw, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Josh. She wanted to do the right thing, right?
She did.
Not take the charge and pass it out to the corner, but credit to the Cal State LA defender to take
a charge. They've taken a couple of them now.
Yeah. Coaches love that, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And it fires up the rest of your team.
Yep. 6-point lead for Arizona. They've been up by as many as 9, and here's a steal by Paris. Paris drives in, little Euro step, and then a foul. Maria Blake was going for the block. She's a freshman from Westchester High School in LA.
Paulina has some quick hands. And this is the third foul for Cal State LA.
So here's Paulina Paris, the North Carolina transfer. Jordan Brand girls national team as a senior in high school. 13 points, 4 steals, 2 assists in her Arizona debut on Friday. She made 3 threes in 23 minutes. I thought she played particularly well and looks like a good piece to put in for the 24-25 season.
I think she's a really good piece. I mean, she's a solid three-point shooter, and I think she's really bought in to the defense.
There's a steal
from Adia Barnes, and there's Skylar again, and a great assist there by Jada Williams.
That's why she's 6 of 7 off the steal, 13 points for Jones, a foul.
Jada Williams, because that was a heck of a pass.
Arizona now up 10, their biggest lead of the game. They have 7 steals, so that puts them at 22 steals in 5.5 quarters now of the exhibition season.
You know, it's not that you're going for steals. They're out defensive stance and their arm is out. And, you know, I'm more pointed toward getting tips, and tips lead to steals.
Yep. Saw some nice 50-50 balls the other day, too, on a couple of occasions that were good to put on film. 12 to shoot, nearly a steal there. 7 to shoot. This is Ronas, fires off a 3 and hits it. Oh, the toughest of threes.
Oh, my goodness. And they were under pressure. My goodness, that was a heck of a shot.
That's their 5th made triple to keep them in it. It's a 7-point game. Ja with the left hand. Got position in the low block on Mariah Blake. And timeout, a 30-second timeout called by Cal State LA as the Wildcats go back up 9.
Sanaya, and she's quick on top of that.
Sanaya played 16 games for defending national champs South Carolina last year, averaged 3 points, 2 rebounds in high school, the 40th overall prospect, class of 2023. There's Mylene Rolfe, the freshman from Germany, who was in the starting lineup. Isis Bay coming back for a second year, and bigger role for the redshirt senior.
I think Isis Bay looks like a different player. I mean, she's lost weight, she's really fit, but her confidence level and understanding Adia Barnes' system, you can tell, and she works so well with Brea Cunningham.
One of the last of the COVID holdovers. They're almost all gone here. And that was Fuentes, who had 8 points, 5 rebounds in the first quarter and has been locked down on defense, not even getting any touches here in the second quarter, thanks to the likes of Bay.
Well, you know, you have someone 6'3" who loves to shoot threes, so you got to come out and guard them out there.
Asiasi on the drive, 3 to shoot. Good defense in that low post, and they're going to have a shot clock violation here.
Great
Ronas couldn't get it off.
Great defense there by the Wildcats, and this is how you fire your team up. And here comes Lauren Swan coming in for someone.
That's an 11 turnover for Cal State LA. The baton handed off Paris, so Swan is in, the true freshman from Queens, New York, Long Island Lutheran, where last year she was a 4-star recruit, 13 points, 3 assists, 3 boards in her senior season. Long Island Lutheran team that went 21-2. We were talking about that the other day. Just 2 one-point losses to Mitty and Mount Verde Academy. Driving, and the parting of the Black Sea right there as Williams scores the bucket through the defense.
Well, great read and finish there by Jada Williams. She is so smart, had a really good first step.
Arizona's lead is 11, approaching 2 minutes to go in this second quarter. Now look at her try and lock up Ronas on defense. And Williams is going to get a steal out of this. Ahead to Bay. Bay's got Joff. She wants it. Turns it over to Fuentes, but stolen back by Swan, who drives and gets hacked by Fuentes.
I love the second effort there. I know Isis Bay didn't mean to make a turnover there, but my Fuentes.
So here is Swan. She made a couple of big threes at the end of the West Texas A&M game.
She did.
12 of the 13 players to get in scored. The only one who didn't get in was Montea Dew, who, by the way, I don't think we've seen.
We haven't seen her
Yeah.
yet tonight, and she's in her sweats, so I don't know if she's going to
Yeah.
play tonight.
Again, she's coming back from that knee injury, and that was her first appearance in an Arizona uniform, despite being here for her 3rd season now. So it might be one of these one-on, one-off kind of load management things.
As she gets used to coming back and I think trusting her knee.
But Swan had a made 3 from the right wing and a made 3 from the left wing, all in the last few seconds of the game. There is Montea Dew, 3rd year in the program, finally saw the court on Friday. 22-23, was a mid-year enrollee, didn't play, and then injured all of last season.
Yeah, she had an ACL injury
Yep.
that happened late summer a year ago. So I believe that last foul was on Isis Bay.
Yep, it's going to be her first.
Yeah.
So a couple of free throws here for Gabriela Ronas, who's a Nevada transfer, 8.5 points last year in her first year at Cal State LA. It's got a big league, that CCAA, and I don't know whether you like this or not. I was in it calling games when UC San Diego was Division II. But you play on Friday and Saturday back to back, and you could go down to San Diego and play Friday and then have to go to San Bernardino and play on Tuesday, or on the Saturday rather. Look at Williams try and hustle back after her miss.
She was
Knocked it
upset. That was the first miss. Arizona's made 6 of their last 7 baskets and shooting 60% from the floor.
That's probably why Cal State LA is playing at Stanford tomorrow, just to get used to the way it normally is in Division II. And diving for it was Rolfe, who touched it last in Arizona.
She's got a floor burn there, but you know what? Your team has the ball on that effort. It was extended underneath the body of the Cal State LA player.
Plays like that could tear a rotator cuff. Just ask Drew Brees. 10-point advantage for Arizona. Swan with $1:13 to go, inbound to Williams. Got a lot of ball handlers on the floor for Arizona. Basically 3 that could play point guard, and then the 2 bigs. Jaw's trying to get open in that high post. Williams over the top to Jaw. Second defender comes, puts it on the floor, turns and missed front iron. Good idea, now trying to rebound her own miss. Jump ball. And Cal State LA will take possession here. Arizona 6 of their last 8 from the floor to open up that 10-point lead. They've been up by as many as a dozen.
So they have a 10-point lead, although Cal State LA is still shooting 52% from the floor.
Yeah.
So they'd love to get that number down. And Cal State LA hasn't had a field goal in the last 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, the thing that is done in the Golden Eagles from when they got out to an 11-6 lead would be the 14 turnovers. That's twice as many as the Wildcats have had. And Arizona's already got 9 steals in the first half. Still 41 seconds to play. Fuentes put it on the floor over to Giles. Giles got double team taken away by Jaw. Jaw getting downhill, driving, missed it. Bay to clean it up, and she'll get a chance at the free throw line.
Yeah, the reason they're getting more steals is because of their defense, their layup, and Isis Bay is now on the free throw line.
Yeah, according to Adia Barnes, their best trapping player is Isis Bay. I remember her telling us that a couple of days ago. And Bay runs the floor well.
And she's vocal out there, and you have a post player who does that.
Yeah.
Good trapping player, reads the defense.
Oh, we saw that the other day, the vocalization, if you will.
Yep.
Bench has gotten shortened just a little bit for Adia Barnes in this first half. 12-point advantage again. All 13 players active on the roster played against West Texas A&M. 12 of them scored. Shot clock is off, and there's another steal. Boy, that's the 11th steal already, and it leads to a basket by Jaw on the other end.
And that's Isis Bay again.
Has the basketball first, a 14-point lead to begin this second half here at McKale Center.
Let's see how they execute this play here and what they get.
Williams will drive into traffic, dish to the corner, and Rolfe fires up a 3. Missed back iron. Rebounded by Ronas ahead.
Charge.
And
Yep. Good defense there. Excuse me, and right near her mouth again, but here she's like the Energizer Bunny, just coming back up like it never happened.
Left for a little bit briefly with a bloody tongue in that first half. High posted goes to Cunningham, out to Bay. Work the perimeter. Williams over the top into Cunningham for an easy bucket over Fuentes.
You know, I really like Brea Cunningham posting up. She knows her role. And you know what? Her teammates know to get her the ball.
Arizona now by 16 inside of 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Beat West Texas A&M on Friday 84-59. 12 of the 13 players scored. Arizona made 11 threes in the game. Rolfe on a one and done, the rebound. Pushing it, and in transition defense, Cal State LA is going to get a steal.
That was a nice tip from behind by Asiasi.
Leaning into that one from the elbow was Lily Buggs again. Made only 1 of 4 shots in the first half. Their leading returning scorer from a year ago with almost 14 a game.
Better ball movement here by Arizona. Taking their time to get a good shot off. 10 seconds left on the clock.
Here's Williams to Paris. 5 to shoot. Paris off the dribble with 1 to go. Took a little too extra on there. Still got a shot off, but then there'll be a shot clock violation. Just didn't hit the iron.
They can execute better in that situation. But good defense there by the Golden Eagles.
8th turnover for Arizona. They've had a couple of them quickly here in the opening moments of this third quarter.
And I know when you're a big scorer like Lily Buggs, who's really their top returnee, she's going to look for herself.
Wing 3 missed out of the hands of Ronis. Here's Williams, the outlet to Paris, puts it on the floor with 1 dribble, and her defender got in the air and then fouled her.
Again, I love the quick pass up.
Going up onto the back there.
Yeah, they're starting to get some chemistry here in the backcourt for Arizona. These are things we didn't see a year ago with this Wildcat women's team. So there's a lot of good pieces as they gain more confidence in playing together.
Paris is a big piece, the North Carolina transfer, injured in mid-January at Carolina. Missed the rest of the season, started 12 games over 2 seasons at North Carolina, so she was chomping at the bit to get in against West Texas State. Here's a steal by Rolfe, almost. Couldn't handle it, it goes out of bounds.
Good defense again by the Wildcats.
They're going to pick up in the backcourt with 3 defenders back there. 17-point lead for Arizona is their biggest of the night. Just over 7.5 to go here. And that one's going to be up for grabs. Bay with a steal. Cross court. Williams, no look pass inside. Cunningham right over Hodges for the bucket.
That is easy money inside. Nice shot there by Cunningham, but again, a great assist inside. And Isis Bay with another steal.
Yeah, dozen steals for Arizona in this game. And Isis Bay has now 2/3 of the field goals have been assisted, 14 of 21. Looking to get the inbound, they curl it in to Asiasi on Rolfe, who's got a size advantage in that low post. Fuentes, who had all 8 of her points in that first quarter, and they get her to turn it over.
Another steal by Isis Bay.
13 for Arizona. That gives them 28 now in 6+ quarters. Over the top, Cunningham bumped by her defender and just couldn't get the soft touch to go.
Yeah, she fell away a little bit. I thought they were going to call a foul there, but the officials didn't.
Arizona's lead is 19. Wing 3 on the way is good by Gabriela Ronis. And Cal State LA is going to call a timeout with 6.5 to go in the third. We'll take one as well. Arizona continuing with the thievery here in the third quarter. They lead at 52-36. Win here.
Yes, she may.
And then I'll have a whole different set of talking points.
But I think between Jada Williams and Brea Cunningham, they'll have a lot of fans there.
Yes.
For the Wildcats.
And of course, UC San Diego got throttled in this building last year. They're coached by Heidi Vandenberg. Here's a drive into the hands of Hodges. And missed shot. Heidi Vandeveer, rather, Tara's sister, who just retired from Stanford.
Yes, so tomorrow when Cal State LA plays, that will be the first time that Kate Pay will be coaching there as the head coach.
Times have changed. Cunningham and count it over a couple of defenders.
And she's gaining 18-point lead here for the Wildcats. Right now they're shooting, Arizona's shooting 58% from the field.
Cunningham has had a really nice game so far with 12 points on 6 of 9 shooting, 6 rebounds. An assist in 14 minutes. Arizona gets another takeaway. Cunningham down to Bay. Plenty of time to work that offense. Williams inside to Cunningham, and a foul is going to be called. They're going to get Fuentes again.
Yeah, trying to guard because of the ball movement, and Rhea Cunningham is sealing her defender.
Quarter points with 5 rebounds, and all she's been able to do is she goes to the bench here with her, what is her first foul, is get 1 rebound, and that's it. Here's Cunningham at the line.
Yeah, I really want to see it. I'd like to see Cunningham averaging 14, 15 points a game, which I think she's definitely capable of doing. And that requires a couple things. One is that she's posting up and rebounding well, and second, in staying out of foul trouble, and she's done a good job, really good job, and her teammates have done an outstanding job getting the ball to their big girl inside.
Passing the baton, Skylar Jones to Rolfe. Got a bunch of little batons over there across the way. Yeah, Cunningham only had 2 fouls in that first game against West Texas A&M. She has 2 here through 2.5 quarters. Again, that was an issue last year in the Pac-12. 129 fouls for Cunningham and disqualified from 10 games. And that's a lot when you only had 7 healthy players for a long stretch last year for Arizona. That's going to get knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Cal State LA.
And that'll she just changed the call. Officials changed the call.
All right.
It's now Arizona ball.
Arizona ball. Timeout on Friday. 8.6 rebounds and 4 blocks. Arizona's only had 1 block in this game so far, and it belongs to Isis Bay. But they're doing other things well. 30 of their 56 points have come off of 20 turnovers for Cal State LA, and that's point of emphasis. When I talked to Adia Barnes after the shoot-around today at around 2 o'clock, she said, got to get better on defense, especially transition defense. Bay makes an extra pass, and Jones misses the 3 from the corner.
I'll tell you who is working hard on the block, and she didn't get the ball, was Sanaya Ja.
Yeah.
So you got to look and reward your players who are working so hard, and there's Isis Bay again.
Yep. 50-50 ball and a tie-up, and
going to Arizona.
Yep, Wildcats will get it.
Yeah, they're working hard on defense.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the thing. If once you have a player on the block and they're working, and I always say if you can see their numbers, get them the ball. And we'll see if Sanaya Ja goes under there again. We'll see how Isis Bay and Ja play together.
And another point of emphasis for Adia Barnes, too, was just getting that team back into shape. She felt like, and she really worked him today at the shoot-around. They had a shoot-around from 12:30 to 2, so 90 minutes just.
That's a long shoot-around.
Yeah. Arizona by 20, matching their biggest lead of the game. Longest shoot-around I've ever seen someone was Stu Morrill from Utah State. He'd go like 2.5 hours. Ja got fouled on the baseline by Ronye Jackson.
I think she got bailed out on that a little bit because that wasn't the best shot, but she sold it. And what that means is she made it look like a foul. And here she's back on the.
You read my mind. And so here's Ja, the South Carolina transfer. 6-foot sophomore. Will have at least 3 years of eligibility here at Arizona. Free throws are a bit of an issue for her on Friday as she went to the line and made 4 of 8. And missed both of them there.
Yeah, she needs a little bit more rotation on the ball in the holding her finish.
2 of 4, and again another 50% effort. Still a ways to go in this one. On the drive, and we're going to have an offensive foul against Cal State LA.
And that was away from the ball.
Yeah, that went on Walter.
Jordan Ross is at the scoring table, taking Isis Bay's spot.
Yeah, we saw Jordan Ross for just under 3 minutes in that first half, and did get off a shot.
So now here's Cal State LA pressing. And Arizona has no problem getting the ball in.
Might be a little more difficult in the Big 12, where Arizona's picked to finish 7th this year. Kansas State picked to win it all, and no Wildcat individual player was on a Big 12 preseason team. Ross, the Pepperdine transfer, and she traveled on that baseline.
She's got to read defense a little bit better. She was trying to make something out of a tough spot.
Rossa had a solid 11 minutes against West Texas A&M.
Good defense again, forced turnover for Arizona. And they get the ball out under the basket because no one touched it.
30 of the 56, again, we'll reiterate, off of now 23 turnovers for this Cal State LA team. Their last 2 turnovers haven't come back to bite them offensively yet. They haven't given up any points on them, and we'll see here if they can get more points off of turnovers. Jones holds it up high with Walter defending her to the wing. Step back 3 on the way. Williams in and out.
Good
Oh,
rebound.
but Shaw!
Oh, good rebound again.
Offensive rebound. Ross then got a 3rd offensive rebound. Swings those elbows. Good effort. Here's Williams driving. A little clutch and a bucket off the window.
There's so much to talk about there.
Yeah.
Extra effort there by Jaw. 2 offensive rebounds, and then what a basket there. And a steal now.
Yep. 11 second chance points. Oh, big collision there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Love the effort.
Ross and Walter went crashing down. Here's Jones. Misfires, and that's only the 3rd miss from the field for Skylar Jones. And Arizona's 22-point lead for the Wildcats. Holding Cal State LA to 44% shooting.
Well, and their shooting percentage was high 50s. Yeah. Better defense here.
Well, they're 16% right now as that one went out of the hands of Fuentes. Still hasn't scored from
Ja, boy, she can out-jump everybody.
Gonna run
Tough
the floor.
pass.
Turned it over.
Yeah.
12th turnover for the Wildcats. Believe it or not, with those 12 turnovers, Cal State LA only has 2 points off of turnovers compared to Arizona's 32. That's quite the advantage, 32-2. Good stop on a dime, but not a good shot by Fidelis. Arizona back in transition with Swan, who will slow it up. Guarded by Fidelis, who swipes at it. Jones has it. Jones gets the screen by Ross, drives in, puts it up, and we'll get 2 shots coming.
Yeah, quickness, her quickness of going to the basket just creates problems for the defense.
As you had mentioned, Cal State LA over the limit as far as fouls are concerned.
Yep.
So with 91 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, here's Jones at the free throw line. 13 points, 2 assists on 6 of 9 shooting.
Yeah, so this is one area that they can do a better job of making some free throws. Every basket is key, especially at any level, but particularly college and above. You know, it's the only time you're not guarded in a game.
Arizona 12 of 18 at the charity stripe here through almost 3 full quarters.
And here's Lily Buggs with the ball, and she hasn't really been a factor at all for this team.
Shot up, and a 3 is good. That is Sophia Fidelis.
The sophomore, again from Salesian Prep.
7 made 3s in this game for Cal State LA. Down 20, 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's Jaw. Look at this ball movement here, crossover, and just a little
tough
too
shot.
hard.
Yeah, so she's got to could do a little bit better job of picking and choosing her shots because she's so good. She can create her own shot, but that wasn't necessarily the one you want.
Jaw just picked up her second foul trying to defend after the missed shot. It's just the second foul for Arizona in this third quarter. Wildcats outscoring Cal State LA 12-6 in the third. We were even at 19 after one quarter, and then Arizona in the second quarter doubled up Cal State LA 28-14. And we're going to have a reach-in foul here on Jones. That's the third on Jones. She's the first one to 3 for Arizona. Comes with 37.4 to go.
Adi is going to let her go here and let her play.
Third foul for Arizona. Quick inbounds. Fidelis against the freshman Swan. Spin move. Out it goes. Shot up. 3 and missed. That was Aaliyah Fernandez. Jaw trying to get the defensive board and does to end the possession there for Cal State LA. Watch her run the floor now. Jaw driving, kick out. And a traveling violation against the Wildcats.
She's such an athlete. She's just got to learn some things. Give up the ball and you'll get it back. And trying to get herself under control.
Isis Bay back in.
Yeah. I think
Jaw out.
Yeah, Jaw's going to just sit next to a coach and just calm her down a little bit. And we haven't talked about this, but something new for teams this year in NCAA Division I, they have the ability to use tablets on the bench.
Oh, yeah.
To show plays and review. So we'll see if that happens with any of the coaches so she can watch herself a little bit.
14 seconds to go in this third quarter. Arizona, no field goals in the last 2:40.
Yep.
Shot clock is off, so they'll likely end on about a 3-minute scoring drought for the Wildcats, who still lead by 20. Fidelis driving and scoring the bucket. Oh, that's what she did so well at Cardinal